Okay, so what you're going to do, let's make sure this is zoomed out. What we're going to do is that we're going to start our crochet, and this is for right-handed people. I don't know how to do it if you're left-handed, so right-handed meaning that you're using your hook for the right hand, with the right hand. And what we need to do is we need to position the material into your hand properly. So here's my hand, and what we need to do is that we need to tuck it in between these two fingers. Okay, and just like so. Okay, so there you go. So pretty simple. And what we need to do is that this here finger here controls the tension. So if you pull it tight, the string gets tight, and if you let it go, the string is loose. So this is what controls your tension, and actually, if anything in crochet, that is your biggest factor, is your tension. So what we're just going to do is I'm just going to see how your hand is underneath there. So the material just pulls through your hand like so. So what we want to do is we want to start off our first stitch. Okay, so let's get your, so this is how you hold it, so let's get your first stitch started first. So what we need to do is we need to rotate and rotate so that it's up like this. Okay, and what we need to do is grab the back one, pull over the front, and set it back down on your finger. And then what we need to do is grab that one, and then using your finger push up like so, and you can take your finger out if you wish, and there is your first stitch, just like so. So what we need to do is just put it on your hook, and this is the string that's coming from the wool, so just pull it, and it'll pull it nice and tight. So we need to put this string back into your hand, so just open your hand, you can pull a string through there so you're in between the fingers, and like so. Okay, so what we need to do, it's called chaining. So here's your chain. So this is considered always one. Your first one is always one. So just grabbing around. So I always crochet like this. Okay, some people crochet down. I crochet like that, like it's a sword. So what we need to do is just grab your material, rotate your hook, okay? And now, do you see how that's got a hook piece on it? If you pull it, you're not going to be able to get it through that hole. And the reason for that is that if you pull up, do you see how the back end is forming like a V shape underneath? So in order to get it through that hook has to be turned to pull under, like so. See that? So what you need to do is just grab your material, and pull through and rotate your hook so that it matches that pulling action underneath. Okay, so this is called chaining. So just grabbing your material and pulling through. And this is how you start most of your projects, is through a chain. Okay, so just, and so what happens is that because this is a size K hook, almost all the stitches will be the actual size of the actual hook. That's how you determine it. So the smaller the hook, or the the perimeter of the hook, if it's smaller, or the diameter is smaller, then your chaining is going to be smaller. And if it's bigger, then your chaining will be bigger. So it's using that, see how I'm pushing up like that? It's using that to actually guide its own measurement. Okay. So there you go. So what you need to do is, if you're doing a full blanket, you can just keep chaining until you think that you got the size that you want. And in some cases, what I do, instead of counting out stitches, when it comes to a basic project like this, I would just lay it on your bed and measure if that's the size that you wanted, or lay it on your couch just like so, and then stop where you feel you want to stop. Okay, so we're going to stop now, and what we're going to do, we're going to show you a double crochet, and that's one of the most standard stitches of crochet itself. And when you get to the end, now you have to chain up 3. So let's count up 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my finger right here on the starting point of my 3. And the reason for it is that is where I want my first stitch to be in order to go back the line that way. So let's go. So 1, we're chaining up 3, 2, and chain 3. Okay, so what we need to do is, this is a double crochet, so you're going to grab your material. Okay, see how I'm rotating that hook? And the reason why that I'm doing that is that I don't want that material to fall off that hook. It keeps it tucked in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick it through the first stitch there. Okay, so when you stick it through the bottom chaining stitch, you want to stick it so that there's 2 strings on top, just like so, okay, and 1 string on the bottom. Okay, so this is a double crochet. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull through the 1. So we're just going to pull through, and now there will be 3 left on your hook, and so we're going to pull through 2 and then pull through 2, and that is the double crochet. Okay, so let's do it again. So just wrapping your material around, going into the next hook. Okay, going, and so what if I put it in here, that would be wrong, right? Because the other one is right there. So what you want to do is you want to look at the stitch and see where is there going to be 2 on top, which is your next. And in this case, it's right here. Do you see that? There's your 2 on top. Okay, pulling it through, pull it through 2, and pull through 2. Let's try it again. So we're grabbing that material, looking where you can at least put 2 on top, which is right here. Okay, so pulling it, so I'm leaving 1 on the bottom, like so, and 2 on the top. Pulling it through 2, and 2. Okay, so wrapping it, pulling it through 2, and 2. Wrapping it, going into the next stitch, making sure there's 2 on top, 1 on the bottom, so just wrapping it, okay, putting it through there because it's got 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top, okay, pulling it through. So I'm using the tension on my hands to guide how much material I want to pull through. Like, as if I'm going to keep pulling it through too much, like I can't pull it anymore because the tension on my hand is shut. And what I'm doing is I'm controlling the tension by doing so. And if you're sloppy with your tension, what happens is that you get stitches that look bigger than the other, and it looks very inconsistent. But the only way to do that is through practice. Or if you're just really damn lucky. So we're just going to work our way to the end of the line, and I'll show you how to turn around and do the next line up. This is a double crochet, and in books it would be referred to as DC. Wrapping it. Now we're on our very last chain here. Okay, so sticking it through, 2 on top, 1 on the bottom, like we've been showing you. Pulling it through 2 and 2, and now this line is completed. Okay, so if you had a big blanket, then you just would have stopped exactly where it ends, really. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn it around. Okay, now we're double crocheting, so what we need to do is chain up 3 again. And remember how I was holding it down at the bottom when I chain up? Well, this time it's very obvious on where I'm chaining up. And the chaining consists, actually counts as one, like one post. In crochet, what it is that these things in the middle, right there, see that? And there, like everywhere along there, those are called the posts. Okay, and in the top section, let me just show you. In the top section, see how you got 2 things? That is considered 1 stitch. Okay, but that's also considered the loops. So if you were seeing a crochet and you say, well, crochet in the front loop only, then what it is that when you go in there, you're only, instead of grabbing both, okay, you're going to grab the front one, and the front one is the one that's closest to you. Okay, and you crochet like so. And if it tells you that you need to crochet in the back loops, you just rotate it and just go in between, missing the front loop. Okay. So what we need to do, let's chain up our 3 and start over. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so see how that's considered 1. Okay, so your very next stitch here, it gets very obvious. As soon as you get past the first one, is right there. It's just sticking out at you. If you rotate it, you can see the 2 on top, right, and 1 on the bottom, just like so. So we rotate your thing and grab your material and go into your very first stitch. So that is considered the very first post. So this will be your second one. Okay, So just going into the very next stitch, and it's so obvious where it is because you're in that stitch, so the next one must be there. And because you're crocheting, it's pulling up now. See? It's really cool. So it gets so simple. So rotating your material. Okay, rotate and stick in. So of course, the stitches are just sticking right into your face. You can't miss them. People, and even myself when I was learning, is the edging. The edges are the hardest part to really wrap your head around. Because sometimes you're thinking that you're adding stitches or you're not adding enough, and then it starts shrinking or decreasing. And it gets even more complicated in your mind when you're changing colors as well. Okay, so we have 2 more stitches left. And how do I know there's 2? Because there's a post there and a post there. So it's going into the next one. Okay, so I got 1 more to go because you can see it's not matching. So the trick on the end is don't pull this apart, right, and go into that hole. What you want to do is you want to maintain, just like you did before, with getting the 2 loops on the top and 1 on the bottom. And the reason for it is if you go into this hole, right, what's going to happen is when your blanket stretches, you're going to actually see holes on the side of your blanket, on the edging, because of it. Okay, so there you go. And we got time. Let's do another line. So we're double crocheting, so remember we're chaining up 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, do you remember where the next stitch is? It's right there, because you're already part of that one right there. So wrapping your material around, sticking in to that stitch, so just 2 and 2. So wrap into the stitch, pull through, 2 and 2. Wrap into the stitch, pull through, 2 and 2. Wrap. Wrap. So anyway, this is your basic blanket. If you want to, and I've done blankets like this before, so if you want to do it, great. And then, once you get comfortable with this, then you can start playing around with patterns and colors and the rest of it. Okay, so we're getting to the edge. See how there's 2 posts left, so you obviously have 2 stitches left. Okay, so just like before, like I told you, see, don't grab it in that hole. You want to stick it in somewhere that you at least get 2 on top, 2 on top, see, and 1 on the bottom, so that it's actually in the actual stitch and not just grabbing in the gap. Okay, so there's the basics of crochet, and that was how you make a basic standard blanket.